Hello everybody and welcome to Shamrock Valley. This is a seasons series, so basically we're going to have all of the seasons which we have to play through, and we have to manage everything appropriately so that we do not neglect the fields or the animals. So it's a bit more realistic, or should I say a lot more realistic, than Farming Simulator without seasons. So it is going to be a bit more difficult. I was going to cross the road, but typically it's now rush hour. Come on cars, let's move. So I have just been in the process of buying some machines, and before anybody says anything, I have intentionally bought the older stuff first. Welcome to Shamrock Valley. A very decent map. So yes, I've bought the older stuff first. That isn't ours, by the way. Because I want to buy the newer stuff in the video. I've gone for this because it took a bit of figuring out which spec we should go for. So I'll show you these. Obviously we just walked past the Claas Dominator Mega 208, but we have the Fiatagri, or the Fiat 18090, which is a turbo DT tractor with a front loader attacher. We have a smaller International 845S and a Ford TW5, three very nice tractors. We then have a Deutz Agrostar, however you want to pronounce it, DX6, I think it's a 31, it's all a bit worn off on this side. Yes, 631 turbo. So obviously, as you can see, that is currently on the header trailer. Let's just take the header off first of all, because I need to clear a bit of space. The engine is already warming up on this very cold spring morning. It's actually only 0 degrees Celsius, so it is pretty cold. Luckily though, because it is spring, the ground is warming up a bit. It's currently 4 degrees, the soil temperature. So yeah, we should be able to start cultivating and drilling very soon. Bear with me. There we go. Yeah, so because I have got seasons running, I've also put the manual attach mod on. This is really just to make it a bit more realistic in that way as well, even though some of the things aren't necessarily realistic. For example, attaching to a trailer, you can, in a lot of cases, do it from in the cab, but you still have to get out and put the electrics in and the hydraulic hoses and all that sort of stuff. In some cases the air line as well for the air brakes. Anyway, let's buy some stuff. Oh yes, as well, we have 1.8 pretty much million pounds. This is because it's the same save game, or the same saved money from Lone Oak Farm, where we had a lot of money. So because of this, we actually have a lot of fields, as you can see. We own, I'd say, 3/4 of the fields on the map, which is good, because to be honest, I'm quite tired of having to keep working the same ones because we can't afford to buy new ones. This is brilliant. This is going to be, hopefully, a big improvement for the series, and it's going to allow me to show off the map much better as well. Okay, so I haven't actually decided which is going to be our biggest tractor. We don't need it today, so I'm going to leave it up to you. Please do feel free to decide. I've gone for a lot of the suggestions I've seen already, so these ones here. This one here especially, actually, the Fiat, so in demand. But also, yes, some of the implements I have already seen from the comment section too. For example, we have the feed mixer, this one here, very, very nice feed mixer. And yeah, the animal trailer, just here. We don't necessarily need it today, but I might as well buy it. Irish, oh no, is this Northern Ireland or Ireland? I go with Irish, but I can change it. Dead easy to change, so if I get it wrong, it's fine. I think it's Ireland, so there we go. Good. Right, so there is loads of stuff that we need to buy. Obviously the fields aren't very big, so we don't need to get massive stuff, but I would like to try out some different stuff. For example, the Coon DLC again. Always very nice to use. I don't really use it very much because it's very narrow stuff. It's very small, so I haven't really been able to use it on the Lone Oak Farm series, but it will be perfect for this series. So in fact, if we have space, let's buy all this. If only 19 was out, we would have the pipe which runs from the front to the back. It would be brilliant. Okay, there we go. So actually that only requires 110 horsepower, but it might have a combined horsepower which is much higher. For the time being, we'll stick it on the Fiat. because I think this is going to be quite a beefy tractor. So I'm going to reverse this back a bit. Yeah, I'm actually missing something here. We need the power harrow too. It's going to be 2 individual setups. So this is one drill, which appears to be down. There we go. And the other is, well, actually that is the other one, but it needs a power harrow as well. Oh, mind the John Deere cultivator. Or the disc. Yeah, disc. I'm going to park it over here. We're going to take everything back over to the farm together because it's just way easier. So, there we go. Looks like we have to lower it. Right, so hopefully as well the volume is okay for the tractors. Does this thing have a front linkage? No, it doesn't. That is typical. In that case, I'll probably put it onto something else. In fact, if you bear with me, I can get things sorted out here and we can hurry things along a bit. Okay, we're ready to go. So we've got a Claas Scorpion telehandler, a very nice machine, a very decent mod as well, and what we're going to do with it is, well, use it mainly for bales. I wouldn't have thought it's going to have another main job, because the mucking out will most likely be done with a tractor, but we'll see, because I'm actually not entirely sure at this stage. So we've got our first load of machinery ready to take. Obviously I can't take any more at this stage because we are, well, we're a long enough line as it is, I think. We'd have to buy more tractors as well. I've been told actually that traffic is actually worth turning off at this stage, because if you're doing a lot of road work it can be a bit tight, but I'll probably turn it on again later. Okay, so yes, we're going to take it all back to the yard, which is actually only just up here. So it seems hardly worth putting it on a worker, but yes, we're going to anyway. Now, as mentioned in the very last episode on Lone Oak Farm, this is going to be the very last Let's Play I ever do. Sorry, did I say the last one ever? I mean for FS17, and when I say FS17, I mean the seasons, so there might be another one without seasons. The reason why is because the seasons ones take a similar amount of time, but I'd say it's a bit longer. I'm rushing the gate. You need to hold it, there we go. Yeah, but it's usually about 2 months per series, and that would bring us to the middle of November, which is actually just before the release of 19. So this really is the last Let's Play. It's sad, but in the same way it's not sad, because what I've seen of 19 so far is brilliant. So we'll be starting a brand new series on there, on the base game maps. Is there space in here for everybody? Hopefully there is. The combine needs to go in its shed pretty much straight away, because we're obviously not going to be able to harvest as it is the, well, it's pretty much winter actually. It says early spring, but we're just out of winter. As this is the cow farm, I'm going to make sure everything is very neat in this area. And yes, I'm going to try my best to be neat from the start. So, this is a fantastic store. Let's make the most of it. I'm going to put everything away in here to begin with, including the combine harvester. We'll keep the combine over at this yard because it is the main yard, even though the sheep yard, or the sheep farm, is not too far away. I think this shed in particular is going to be really useful. I'm just going to have to practice my reversing because obviously it's quite tight getting into here. If I can keep that up, we'll be doing alright. Okay, so yes, I'm just going to tidy up this first load, and then we'll be able to start a bit of farming hopefully. And because we did all the work to the animals in the final episode on Lone Oak, we don't have to do anything to them today, which is really nice. It makes it very easy. Right, I don't want to be in the way, so I'll just put this over here. That's also a good place for probably cultivators and drills. Where are we? Here we go. Yeah, cultivators and drills in here, possibly bales, although they might get a bit wet. What's this? Ah, that's nice too. yes, that's not a bad shed. I need to make sure I keep it clear. Likewise, that's pretty good. Oh, that is that's bales. I want to put bales in here. That just shouts bales. Somebody will probably say, what? No, that's a tractor store. But no, I like the look of that. Stop clowning around. Right then, that's everything which we purchased, and it's all put away. So as you can see, the harvesting equipment is all together. Very, very nice, majestic Larrington trailer just there. So good. Very high quality work. So, yes, that's going to be staying there for some time. We don't even need to look at that again until harvest, which is going to be, well, probably at least 10 episodes away, because we're playing with 6 days in a season, and that's not going to change. So yeah, that's going to be a while. Anyway, this tractor, I was thinking could be the main spraying tractor, although we can, in the workshop, just swap the tyres over to standard tyres if we want to do other work with it. And this tractor just here, the International, is going to be the sort of yard shunter, and it could do some very light rolling or something in the fields, we'll see. So I'm going to put this over here for the time being. This of course is the place where you buy the seed and the fertilizer, so it's a good place for it, but I don't think we have a sprayer at this stage. So although we have £1.6 million, it isn't as much as it looks, because we still have loads of stuff to buy. Balers, trailers, in fact we actually have a lorry to buy. I need to buy that probably now. It would be worth doing. So we're going to have a designated lorry just for bales, and I think that's going to be a good idea because we get through so many bales. And in fact we need to buy some bales because we sold them over on Lone Oak Farm because it would not be worth the money to have them shipped over to Ireland. So yes, let's buy this truck. It's a really good mod, but it is expensive. Virtual money, of course. Let's go for the fully spec'd version. Rim colour, I think we'll go for like a grey colour. That's £285,000. So not cheap, but it should be really useful. This tractor, I think for the time being as well. Actually, no, I might use this tractor because we need to go and get the subsoiler, if we're going to get one. I'm not sure about a plough. One of the two. And also we have the drill and the power harrow and drill setup, the combination. So actually, we have loads of stuff to still bring back. That can stay there for the time being. But yes, the power harrow combination I want to get. So if we go on to, I would have thought cultivators, it should be in here. Here we go. That's 18,000. And something like that, it requires an awful lot of power, but yeah, that could be good. This one here. I think about it, but I think I'm going to go with it. I like it, so might as well do. But that means we are going to have to get a tractor which is at least, well, 240 horsepower. This one here requires 320. This one applies fertilizer, although we do have slurry, so there's a lot of bumbling going on here. But I think, oh, what should we go for? It acts as a cultivator, I believe. We can always get rid of it. I like it. It's not too big for the map because it isn't very wide. We'll see how we go. Right, let's get this thing set up. This is the DLC, which has this combination in it, and I said that it would look really good on 19 because of the pipe that runs down the side, which it obviously won't do in 17. I try and make myself not say 17 and 19 too much because I'm at risk of saying the wrong number, as I did do in one of the previous Lone Oak videos. I kept saying 17. I actually meant 15, I think. Oh well, these things happen. So we'll take this back, and when we do get the big tractor or big tractors, we might get two. I need to have at least one with a front 3-point linkage, obviously, for the hopper. So yeah, very important. So this is what I was thinking. Keep the drills and the sprayers and possibly fertilizer spreaders here. We're also going to buy a slurry spreader. It's going to be the high spec spreader because I know how everybody loves it. I'm sure there'll be someone who doesn't like it, but Wow, when you read my comments about slurry spreaders, it always seems to be the high spec one which is recommended. So you should be able to see it. It'll be in slurry tanks, just here. Amazing how many people like this thing. I like it too. Definitely go wide. Always looks good. So there it is. Actually, the Fiat looks like a really fitting tractor for it. It suits it. And if you're wondering about the amount of manure and slurry we have, well, luckily, it couldn't come with us. So we only have what they've already generated, which is not going to be a great deal. I think there was already some slurry in the pit when we bought the farm. So there might be more of that, but yes, manure, 649, liquid manure, just over 200,000. And we have quite a bit of milk to sell too. So, luckily, we're not going to be doing too badly for money. Which is always nice, because to be honest, I hate it when we get into the position where I have to say, I want to do this, but we just don't have the money to do it. I want to be able to do every job that we feel like doing. Also, I'll just say now, despite us running seasons and it being more realistic, I'm not calling it the realistic series or the semi-realistic series because I got quite tired of people saying, oh, that's not realistic, so I'm just calling it a casual playthrough. That is all it is. Yeah, the best place for this to live is just here. There you go, you might be full time on the slurry spreader. Aren't you lucky? No, the Fiat will be doing other jobs too. Definitely. No PTO, there we go, that's better. Right, so I think we need to prioritise getting these bales now because they're not requiring bales today, but they are going to in an episode or two. So if we can get them sorted, we know where to take them to, this shed over here, then yes, we'll be all ready to go as soon as we do need to feed them. Just trying to fold in the spike. I'm not too sure now actually. For the front loader, you have to press X, but I think it might be different for the telehandler. Anyway, yes, we have the lorry already down here, which is brilliant because this is where we buy the bales from too. So all we have to do is buy a decent load and load them up. I believe this particular lorry does have an auto load function, but we're not going to do that because that's just too easy. So yes, I think I'm going to position this in a better place because currently it is a bit congested here. My priority is to buy hay, silage and straw. I don't even know if you can buy grass, but we wouldn't want to because it would likely rot. So yeah, basically anything but grass. Right, it's going to be in pallets, there we go. We're going to go for square. One of those, and silage is a round bale. That is fine. I already have a pretty good idea of what I think the chosen brand will be for the tractors. Claas. I'm sure it will be. I know that a lot of people requested it and I haven't bought a tractor yet, which is Claas. I've got the telehandler, but yes, I think it would just be perfect really. Would it be the Axion? Not too sure. I know this TT cultivator is probably going to be quite a debatable topic, but I think I'm going to keep it because it does only require 320 horsepower, and a 320 horsepower tractor on this farm isn't too big. You'd be looking at 500 horsepower for too big. Some of the fields are a decent size, but there's nothing huge. Right, there we go. I promise in a couple of episodes time everything will be much neater and there won't be an issue with things being left around. Also, what do you think of my choice of tyres? The industrial tyres. I think they look pretty good. Most likely fairly puncture proof as well. Right, now the challenge begins. I wonder if I've got pylons on here. V. Ah, we do. Although it's already got the back support anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. Okay, so are you ready for a challenge? Loading this correctly. This is never going to work. Oh well, I can try. Right, so I'm sure as you saw there, it really didn't like the manual load. This lorry seems to be set up for automatic load as its main function. But I'm going to try and unload it manually. This is obviously very high. Anyway, let's put them all into here. I've just put 2 silage bales into the side there. It looks like, because it's a tight yard up there, the best place to do this is in the far corner. So I'm just going to keep putting them here. And this is the final load of silage bales. They're on the roof. Yeah, so we'll put these in storage as well. It is quite tight through here. Need to be very careful. But we are almost finished for the first setting up video. There is one thing I want to do first, and that is to spread probably 1 load of slurry on a nearby grass field. Okay, we'll go to there. That's fine. So you can see they're up there. There's 2 on the back, I think. Yeah, there we go. Let's get them unloaded. Definitely not using the auto load function. Not for this. And I know we are putting a spike through it. It's because I'm absolutely useless at the bale grab. Right, I think there's 4 there. Yeah, we're holding 4. We'll just put them down here. And I think there's 2 more. Yep, let's just go and get those final 2. Put the kebab stick right through the centre. There we go. Skewered bales. Right, so we are done. I'm just going to go and park this up, and then we're going to jump into, I'd say it would be the Fiat, and we'll spread, which field will it be? Field number 2. It's a good grass field. To keep things nice and tidy, I'll park that in there, and hopefully we can reverse the lorry into here. It is going to be quite a tricky thing to reverse, but I think there's enough space. That's the good thing about these sort of yards. They are big enough to manoeuvre in, but it does just take a little bit of time and skill. Obviously I've got more time than skill. But there we go. Nice and tidy. Until next time, I'm sure it won't be too long, because what we've got to do is create silage bales and also create some hay bales. And at some point, obviously when we do the harvest, we'll be doing the straw bales as well. Right, so already I'm getting to know my way around the yard. All that stuff there will probably be replaced, but I'm not too sure at this stage. Right, little Fiat, or big Fiat, let's get this thing filled up. There we go. Yeah, so whenever I can do, I'm going to make sure I always use loads of slurry, because we get so much of it, and obviously it's free, we don't have to keep buying fertilizer. Really good way of getting rid of it. And it's so good for the grass as well. In case you're wondering, periodic ploughing is switched on, so we do get the extra 10% if we plough a field, but the fertilising stages is set to 1 because of the amount of fields that we own. If it was set to 3, which would be more realistic, it would be, well, every episode would be feeding the animals and then spraying a field. It would be very repetitive, so this is for the best. Obviously if you're playing single player on your own without making a video, 3 stages is way better. Okay, so that is 90% full. Let's just get it to 100%. And there we go. So field number 2, that's where we're going to. That's a good shed for bales too. There's quite a lot of scrap dumped over here, so I need to keep an eye out. It would be very easy to catch a bit of scrap. And it would do damage. Okay, so yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to get to this field, but I do know it's the other side of the road. So I suppose it could be up there, but I think it's a placeable area. I've put the traffic back on as well. Although there's been a bit of a collision down here, that's a shame. I'll have to just overtake. But I need to keep an eye on where to go. It's not there, that's the dealer. So it must be the next turning right. Come on folks, it's not let's all have a sleep on the road day. Look at that one, didn't even look before it pulled out. Right, yeah, there it is. There's the field just up there. So what we need to do now is find a gateway. There it is. Right, let's just pull off the road. Otherwise we're going to be blocking things up. Although nobody's actually moving, so that's fine. They're just parking wherever they want to anyway. Yeah, so as you can see, minimal growth because it is so early in the year. But it could do with some fertilizer, that's for sure. So we'll just get this whole load done today and we'll finish off tomorrow. This is going to be a big series, so we have all the time in the world. Until the release of 19, of course. Oh yeah, look at that. The quality. Makes such a difference. And technically, this is actually increasing the yield by 90%, just because of the way we're doing it. And look at that view from up here. We are going to be spending a lot of time down by the sea, as well as up here on the top of the hills, because we own so many different fields. As you can see there, field 26, 28, 33, they're all much further down. And we've got field 9, 12, 13. I think it is about 3/4 that we do own. Making a big difference. So what do you think? What do you think of my choices? I know that it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, because it is so hard to please everybody when it comes to choosing the right brand and the right machinery, but hopefully I have chosen at least one decent machine for the map. Obviously I'm trying to go for the right brand for the area, and I've used a lot of John Deere recently, so I didn't want to get too much John Deere, if any, especially as it's going to be in 19. Really, we should have some Massey Fergusons, but I just know what everyone's going to say if I get even more Massey Fergusons, because we're using them quite a bit on Letton Farm, so yeah, we might get one. But Fiat was a good brand to get. Deutz Agrostar. I think New Holland and Claas. They are the brands. They're the brands that I would choose. Okay, I think I might stop doing headlands first. Might as well just go straight across. I wonder how many tanker loads this is going to take. I would guess it about 3. Maybe 2. Yeah, 2 might do it. It must smell fresh in these houses here. And then we're going to go back over to the yard and park up. Yeah, so in future what I'm going to try and do is get one episode to be one in-game day. So we play it times 15. Usually works pretty well. Today, because we were sorting things out, it's times 5. Yeah, probably the next episode will run over a day and a half. The remainder of this day and the whole of the next day. I think there's going to be quite a bit of money coming in at midnight. We have so much milk. Okay, let's go. We're going to park up in front of the slurry pit once again. ready for filling up next time. And look at that, the temperature is now 5 degrees. Impressive. We're home again. So hopefully you've enjoyed this first video. Obviously if you've got any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. And yeah, we're going to call it a day. So see you again soon. Bye for now.